Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. Enough?
Welcome to the LifeLiberty Show. Today, we are going to go over a little bit of information that I had received. It's been happening for, obviously, since the hurricane. Baxter Industries made all of the IV and IV bags and needles and catheters and stuff like that. After Hurricane Helene, or during Hurricane Helene, the factory was actually damaged, and they produce 60% of the U.S.'s IV medical gear, medical products. So there are surgeries that are being put off because we don't have enough. This is going to affect a lot of things, not just saline bags, medicine bags, blood bags. So donating blood, right? All of these things are the things that I've been talking about, that the infrastructure that people are dependent on fail. If you take your time and put it towards not needing the infrastructure. Now, I do understand that if I was out doing my thing and I broke my leg and I had to go into surgery, then it would be a necessity to have an IV bag. I get it. But if we didn't put as big a strain on the system, then whenever something like this was lost, then we wouldn't have to worry about it. Because everything would be there that we need for an emergency. Right? And that is what people don't understand, what a real emergency is. There's so many people that go to the hospital because they got a fucking headache. Or they have an ingrown toenail. You don't go to the emergency room for an ingrown toenail. You go to your primary care physician. Or what you do is, just like a friend of mine in England, he put his foot in a fucking ice water bath for 20 minutes till his fucking foot was numb. And then he grabbed a hold of that fucking nail and he ripped it out with a pair of pliers. And then it started bleeding, and he did everything you got to do to stop the fucking bleeding. Sometimes you just suck it the fuck up and move on with your life. We have become too soft of a fucking world. Globally, the first world nations are fucking pussies. Every one of us. Fucking pussies. You can be pissed off at me all you goddamn want. The facts are the facts. We are too dependent on the system, the way things are going. And we've become lazy, fat and lazy. Our son had to have a surgery this morning. He's an adult, so he takes care of himself. But you know how you're told, don't eat or drink after midnight, right? Okay. Well, he was told don't eat or drink after midnight. But when he got to or right before he got to the hospital, they told him, drink a large Gatorade. Because they didn't have the fluids necessary, or the IV bags with saline necessary to keep him hydrated. So they wanted him to be hydrated. So what they're willing to do is risk you aspirating so that they can continue, because we are short these things. And the main reason for this is because we take advantage of it. Stop taking advantage of it. It's soft, basic shit. We are a bunch of pussies. And if you're not willing to be a pussy anymore, and you want to grow your own food, and you want your own fucking piece of property, you're going to have to defend it. And while you're defending it, you're going to want to have the best tactical gear on the market. And you can get that tactical gear at warhorseordnance.com. They are an American veteran-owned company that sells tactical gear. They have some badass fucking hoodies and ball caps and shirts. But they also have go bags, medical gear, and they can get you in contact with some of the best trained instructors on the planet. That's warhorseordnance.com. So, because the hurricane took this building out, again, 60% of the country's IVs or IV bags and hoses and, right? There's so many things that are used in that realm. But they make 60% of them. So not only is it going to affect the supply chain for food and goods, but medical gear. I'm not saying that the government fucking did this by any means. I don't believe that the government directed the fucking hurricane to go there. But this is a strategy used when you are invading a country or you're in a war. What you do is you cut their supply chains off. Like, this is exactly what's going on in other countries when we invade them. We cut supply chains off. We provide what they need. So now we are in control of what they see and what they get, their supplies. When you win over their belly, you win over their hearts and minds. It just is what it is. Stop giving your belly to the government. Get your own food. And when you grow your own food, you're not going to need to go to the hospital as much. So you're not going to need the IV bags. This has been proven. You can look it up. All the food and byproducts that are on the shelves have been tied to illnesses. Every bit of them. It's up to you to decide to stop fucking using them. Anyway, I'm kind of out of it today. Just before this, I was talking with my middle daughter, and we had some discussions on science and geography, and so my mind is kind of somewhere else right now, but I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this one short. Just know that we can decide what the fuck we eat. We can defend our property. Anyway, nobody special. Buy local and fuck the ATF.
Drag them in, and they'll follow you until the day you die. I tell myself I've done this before. It's hard to get a handle on you walking out the door. So just take another message to the people who know more. The talk is growing old, and so am I. It's so wide, it's so